Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean.
Welcome everyone. It is Wednesday, the 5th of May. This is Connections 50 Plus, and we are 5.8G Alive. The day has come. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite, one of the co-creators of Connections 50 Plus.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, the other co-creator of Connections 50 Plus. And yes, we are alive this evening.
Good. And this is Connections 50 Plus 93rd week consecutively with you on all our social media platforms across the Caribbean. And as we have been building up, this is our new format. Yep. We said last week, listen, it's 2021, and our 5.8G generation, for new viewers who might know, it's all of us in the 50 to 88. We are building our third act stage. We are writing our script. It means that we are planning a life that will go to 2050 and beyond. So we have changed up our format and delivering to you 5.8G Alive. So Jennifer, what is the difference with 5.8G Alive?
Well, one, we are more alive. Heading into the third act stage, or those who are in the third act stage already, it's all about energy. It's all about positive vibes. We, as mentioned, you would see with our new show, this show, that we have three very lively segments catering to each one of you all out there. Again, we are going to offer at the end, we will tell you all about how you could continue to engage with us. And we would be also, of course, having guests as we go along. We would have guests dropping in to chat about, the various topics that is happening right now. So basically, anything I have left out, Ariane?
Well, one of the things that we are making sure we do in this Alive section, as we said, we are building a stage and we're writing a script. So if we're building a stage, you've got to get plans, you've got to get blueprints and so on. So our segments are going to be targeted at really getting us to take action, as Jennifer said, So you will be really riveted. And again, we're going back to our three buckets that we always talk about with Connections 50 Plus. First, we deal with ourselves. We deal with our money and our means to live. And then we deal with our community.
Yes.
So without further ado, Jennifer, let's hit our first segment. And that's called, Jennifer?
So it's all about being in tune and living a fulfilled life. Yes, 5.8G Alive. This talk this evening will be about moving mind and body. And when we talk about moving mind and body, at this time, the mood for most people at this time, I will say, Terry-Ann, it's directed by COVID-19.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
All the talk, all the news, everything is about what's happening now, pandemic, we hear every day. So many of us, we find ourselves living in fear, which should not be, but it's happening. We fear about getting the disease. We fear about losing our jobs, about not having enough income to support our family. We fear about losing our loved ones. And I can go on and on about all the different fears. But the 5.8G Alive is all about moving those fears and getting you alive, to be energetic, to look forward, to really enjoy life on the third act stage, despite the pandemic. Okay?
Jen, I look forward to this section, and I am going to be right in the background listening to you talking about being in tune and living a fulfilled life.
Live your best life. Yes. So during the next 3 shows, I will be chatting with you about the 3 main areas, about mind, body, and soul. And with mind, body, and soul all coming together in a very positive manner, definitely you will be able to move forward with your mind, your mindset. And with your mindset, the 3 areas that I want to touch on are your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior. And when we touch on it, I am hoping it will help you in your planning. It will help you make that shift to where you are now to where you want to go. And I keep mentioning third act stage because we are dealing with the 5.8G. So we are dealing with 50 plus. Some of you may still be in the workplace, looking forward maybe for your transition to the next stage, maybe going into your own business, maybe just to do charitable work, or, you may have different plans. So you may still be there planning. Some of you may have already left the workplace and doing what you love to do. You may have to make that little shift because of what is happening right now. So we are in different stages of life. Of the 5.8G journey, I should say. And because we are at the different stages, you may find certain suggestions may not be applicable to you. But listen, when I share ideas, you will find that you can have it work for you. So are you agreeing then that you want to move from the low energy level to the high energy level? Because that's the only way that we can make it. And in doing that we can help others. So let's talk about your thoughts. What are your thoughts? And the negative thoughts is what weigh us down. And for instance, you're hearing a lot about the vaccine, and let me refer here in terms of, because we're in pandemic, and the medical, most of the all those in the medical field, the doctors, the researchers, everyone tell you that it's best to do, take the vaccine, because that's one way of us, having the herd immunity, etc., all the positives about it. But on the other side, you're hearing some negatives, and that may affect your thinking. So you may be a bit worried, should I? Because as I said, we are the 50 plus, we are the vulnerable AM stage. So you may be wondering, should I do it or not? And get bogged down with some negatives. Okay, so that's one thing. The other negative thought, of course, is money. You may not have enough money and all the fears I spoke about. So how do you shift that negative thought to being positive? I would recommend rephrasing. Be conscious of when you're speaking, what you see. So when someone come to you with a lot of the negatives which are affecting you, which playing, as we say, playing with your emotions, because after they finish chat with you, you're a little more confused, or you may be, you may be down, you may be in that low energy level. So my suggestion is you rephrase. So in your language, think when you speak, and use a lot of positive language. All right. So for instance, instead of using the negative words, you will say, okay, I am happy. This is what I'm doing to make me happy. And we'll chat a little later on about the things that will make you happy. So think nice thoughts. Surround yourself, as I said, when you're reading, if when you read, you're reading too much of the negative news, which is so much out there, then stop reading as much, stop listening to the news as much. So in your conversation, your first sentence would not be, girl or man, this is what happening, and you're only talking about the negatives. Instead of talking about the COVID, you talk about something else. Okay, so that's one way of rephrasing and changing that your thoughts. It's also recommended that before you go to bed, clear your mind of all the negatives. Think of things, think of all the positive, think of what you would like to happen to you. You could put on music to relax yourself. You could watch a show before you go in. Do the things that will just change that mindset. So that's quickly on your thoughts. Try and avoid the gossip, because a lot of gossip, they say a lot of false information outside there. And if we already in a low energy and that negative mode, we tend to believe all the false information. So please, not everything that you read, not everything that is said to you, you have to take it at face value. It's always good to check for yourself, do some research to know that, yeah, that information is false. Okay, so watch what you put in within your mind, how you thinking. I also recommend some affirmations, and affirmations is just positive thoughts. Like I mentioned, the vaccine, initially I thought, wow, I have some certain allergies, etc. And from what you're hearing, if you have allergies, you know what's going to happen. So, but when in reading and in chatting with, my doctor, etc., and they will say, no, that's okay, you should do it. I did an affirmation, and my affirmation is that I am not going to be affected adversely by the vaccine. The vaccine will work for me and ensure that I am protected from the COVID virus. And that's my affirmation. And I keep saying that to put a positive, so I have to go in there. So you enter to take the vaccine with a positive mood. All right. So clear all the clutter before you go into bed and think all the positive. Nothing wrong. It's not costing you at all to think positively. All right. So let's move on to the second set, which will be about your emotions. So know yourself. You must know what type of personality you have. You must know if you are a person who very emotional, may get, feel down quickly when you hear negative news every day, you hear what is happening out there, all the negatives, that it gets you down. So know yourself. And if you are one of the persons that really feel down very quickly as a result of all the negatives happening there, then remove yourself from certain situations. So if there's a conversation going on, and if you eavesdrop and you that is about all the negatives, don't get involved in the conversation. Move yourself from that. Choose not to be among the people that make you uncomfortable. Stop listening to them. And you know what? Many of us on Facebook, and I have no problem with Facebook. I see Facebook as a very positive mood to stay in touch, get certain information, etc. But on the other hand, if you're very emotional and if you're one tend to listen to gossip, then or believe in the false information, false news or fake news, then know yourself. Know yourself. Guard against these sort of emotions. You feel, so check yourself to see how you may be feeling. All right. So that's one way of guarding and helping you from becoming all stressed out, because that's what happening now. Many of us get stressed out because it's too much of the news bombarding us every day, whether it's on the radio, whether it's Facebook, whether it's television, newspaper, all around us with the negative news. We have to sort of reinforce ourselves in such a way that you pile on the positives. You pile on the positives. And that brings me to the third aspect, which is about your behavior. And when it's about your behavior, you should actually, I will recommend make a list. Make a list in terms of the things you love to do as against the things you don't love to do. What makes you happy as again what don't make you happy. What are your hobbies? What social activities, especially now? Yes, people, we are known for liking to socialize and not staying home, etc., etc. Now it's different. So make a list because you need to change behaviors. So make a list on one side, all the things that you love to do, the people you like to be with, why you want to be with them, okay? The games you like to play, the type of movies if you're a movie person, what type of books you like to read, what type of conversation that makes you feel good, all these things. So you make a list. So when you have that in front of you with all the things that make you happy, I don't need to tell you on the other side, you know exactly what will bring you down. So your focus on behaviors would be the behaviors that keep you on that high energy level. So I will recommend looking at those 3 areas. You look at your thoughts, you look at your emotions, you look at your behavioral patterns to help you make that shift, move your mind and move your body, because in doing that, let me tell you, you are preparing yourself for the next stage, which will be making sure that you are healthy, you are active, and you could cope with situations. All right. So I want to leave you here. I hope this has energized you, have you thinking different, so you could move that body, you move that mind into a more positive state where you're happy with who you are, you love who you're with, and you love what you do. So, but I want to leave you with an exercise, because we're all about this new show, as Terry-Ann mentioned,
Yes.
is about engaging you. Okay? So, Terry-Ann,
Yes.
what I would love for our audience to do between now and next Tuesday prior to our show is for them to at least give us three things that they're going to do to shift that mindset. And I will say 3 things. One on the behavior. One would be to shift behavior, shift your thoughts and your emotions. And let us know by either those who on Facebook, of course, you could just, post. And we want to encourage you, please, and you would see coming up our website, the community page, to go on our community page. We started the community page very active this week, and post and tell us on what 3 things that you're going to do differently to make you happy. Okay, so Terry-Ann, this is it.
Jen. Excellent, Jen. Many
Yes.
wonderful points, really so important to get ourselves tuned in for that fulfilled life. We can't build that state if life is not fulfilled. So I am excited about going back. We did the mind, and next week is the body. I'm excited. I am excited. Yes. So Jennifer, isn't there a video that you wanted to share?
Well, this is a very, very short clip, and it's just to remind them that, yes, out there, Terry-Ann, we see the world as, Connections 50+. We see the world as the oyster, that we could continue dreaming and we can do and really create the life we want to create on the 3rd act stage. Yeah.
So great. So, listeners, enjoy this little clip.
The world is our oyster, and we are going to experience its pearl. We can design all that we can become because we are always evolving. It's not the end of the road.
To become the best version of ourselves.
Okay, so we are going into our second segment. which is being dollar savvy, claiming your worth. And Terry Ann going to take you through this segment. So Terry Ann, let's hear.
Okay, so Jen, remember those things, creative entrepreneurship, and the way that we were in the Caroni swamp, in the natural habitats, and we were talking about how our 5.8G cohort does entrepreneurship. This stage that we are building is not meant to stress us out. So Jen, I'm about to take everyone on a journey to see how we can build this stage, create some income flows, and be happy while we're doing it.
Right.
So I'll see you at the end.
Definitely.
Just as Jen said, we are going to be doing this over the next 3 weeks. We're doing it in 3 parts. And what we are looking at here is finding ways for our 5.8G cohort to create flows of income. Now, remember, when we say entrepreneurship, don't get into the old back in the office thing. It's not that. You're not going to do anything that is going to stress you out and cause you to, oh my God, no, that's not the kind of entrepreneurship that we want. You see how Jen and I are having fun? That's what we want you to do. So in this series, we're going to just take us through some tips. And this is a very interactive process that I'm taking us through here. So I want to see a lot of questions and a lot of discussions in our comments, those of you on Facebook, those of you on YouTube. And if you are looking on the web, or if you're looking at this afterwards, just go to our website on the community page and let's continue the discussion. So the 3 parts that we're going to be considering are, what are you to do? That's the first thing. What can I get money streams of income from? Where am I going? I've been an administrative assistant all my life. I have been a security guard all my life. I have been doing stuff. I don't know what I could do. So the first part that we're going to focus on today, we'll focus on that. Then next week, we're going to focus on, okay, you know what you want to do, but it's very important to organize yourself, because organizing yourself is what makes entrepreneurship not stressful. Believe me, when you put some little very, very simple systems in place, it becomes easy and you get to enjoy it while you're building your stage. And then finally, we're going to focus on how do we choose where we go to market? How do we decide who our customer is? That's a tricky one, huh? But it's not hard to do. So let's start. How do you decide, what am I going to do? Now, one thing I want us to remember is that we are the 5.8G cohort. We are the 50 to 80. We have finished the second act. So we know we have an advantage. We know what we like and what we don't like. We have had a lifetime of experience working with people or running our homes, dealing with our children, our community, whether it was in church or whatever it is. So we have to tap into that experience. And I want you to ask me, answer honestly this question. What are you good at? What are you good at? Now, the biggest stumble for many entrepreneurs is that we are not comfortable saying, I am good at this, or I am good at that, or we are not aware of what we are good at because we're so accustomed serving others. And unfortunately, our society is one that we don't very willingly really give people a lot of kudos when they do well. So many people don't really know what they're good at. So I want you to find out what you're good at and what you can probably use as a start to get into entrepreneurship. There's some cues, all right? So another thing I want you to do, you could bring a friend along. You can have a friend join you in this exploratory session that I'm going to take you into. If you're not sure what you're good at, think, what do people often come to me for? Why do people come to me? Think of your work life. Think of yourself in your neighborhood. Think of yourself in your church groups or your sports group or by the bar, lineman, in the football club, and whatever it is you do over the course of life. Whenever you're in a group setting, what role is usually the one you end up with? Or when you are in a situation, what are you most likely to organize? Are you the one who figures out the problem? Are you the one who would tell people what to do? Are you the one who can make that brave decision? So I want you to not go into the usual modest self that people would normally be. I want you to think, what am I good at? And if you don't know what you're good at, the answer to it usually comes from you examining, what do people usually come to me for? What role do I usually play in people's lives? And what about me makes people happy? And if you can't answer those questions, then I want you to go to a friend or go to your family, go to your children, go to your partner, your spouse, your neighbor, anybody who knows you, and you ask them. And I want you to start putting those answers of, what do you do well? What are you good at? All right? It's very important, because if you're going to get into entrepreneurship, you want to do something that you already have the skill set. You don't want to necessarily go and retrain yourself in something. You're not going back to school. You're not going to go down that road. So that's the first thing that I want you to do. Okay. The next thing, apart from what are you good at and what do people come to you for, I want you to tell me, what are you happiest? When are you happiest? Doing what kind of things? Now, you may be very good at something, and you may be a very good problem solver, and you may be very good at helping people get going with different things. But you might be very happy doing that all the time. you might be happiest when you're outdoors. You might be happiest when you're creating things, whether you create things with your hands, so you like craft, you like to cook, you like to create beautiful meals, whether you like to plants, you like gardening. When are you happiest? Now, don't try to start matching the two as yet. We're not doing that as yet. But answer, when am I happiest? And are you happiest when you are with people? When you are dealing with people? Or are you somebody that just is so calm and happy when I am by myself or with a very limited group of people with limited interaction? Are you happiest when you are just surrounded with books, information? You like to read novels, fantasy. You like to read reports, scientific reports. You just like information. You like to be by yourself. Are you happiest when you're with things? Again, coming back to rearranging, organizing, cooking, cleaning, making, dealing with things. These are important questions that you need to reflect on, because again, when you think about doing something to generate income to help you build this third act stage, you want to be involved in doing something that's going to have you energized, going to have you happy, very, very happy and lucrative. So we think about what kinds of things you like to do, whether you like to be around people, whether you like to be active doing things, creating things, whether it's indoors, outdoors with nature or making things. Or another thing is whether you just like to deal with information. Are you naturally just very inquisitive? Do you like to, because there's a difference between I like to deal with people and I like to get information from people. So you may be good with asking people about things, collecting information, figuring out things, making connections, joining things. All of these questions give you a sense of the person that you are, the kind of personality that you have. And you want to make sure that it's lined up into something that can help you to earn money. Now, the next thing and the last thing question that I want you to ask is, have you seen anyone anywhere paying to have people do those things that many people come to you to ask you to do? Have you seen people paying for things that you like to do naturally? Where do they pay for it? Who do you see? Who do you see making a transaction out of this? When you look at those things, you begin to shape and get a sense of what you can possibly use your innate talents to do to develop a business, to get into entrepreneurship. Okay, so just as Jennifer said in my last minute with you, we're going to have a challenge. All right. And I want you, you could play this back. I want you to think about, what are you good at? What are you good at? And I want you to be very honest and start the conversation. I'll be right there on our website in the community page chatting with you about it. Okay, so this has been a real bunch of fun. We are in the section called Being Dollar Savvy, Claiming Your Worth, 5.8G cohort. We are going to claim our worth and we're going to build a fantastic stage. So Jennifer, what did you think about this session?
Carrie-Ann, it was great. You know, it brought back memories when you asked the question, what are you good at? And about using your skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And it brought back for me to become a coach. When I decided to do coaching, I asked myself that, what am I good at? And my answer was dealing with people.
And talking.
Yeah.
And listening.
You know,
listening, Jennifer, listening.
Yeah. And that actually was my skill set. And that third question you asked, if you have seen people paying money for that skill you might be giving away.
Yes.
Well, that was easy for me because I came out of the industry.
All right. Yes.
That people were paying for you to give them advice, you know? So that was easy. So it really brought back memory. And that would, those three questions are critical questions, you know? So I am also looking forward with you, Terry-Ann, to, you know, to see the responses and to get what the answers, the responses to those three questions. Yeah.
Oh, yes. And I want to remind people again, you know, they sound simple questions. And because we are not accustomed really giving ourselves props, you know, sometimes it's really difficult for us to admit, I am good at this. Now, if I tell me what your faults are, oh gosh, we have a long
That's it. Again, the negatives
are too big. Oh gosh, just as you were talking about. The negatives that come out at this or that or the other. And oh, geez. But if you are going there, then just stop, go by somebody and ask them. Because other people know your worth. And if we are to claim our worth, the first step to being able to generate income streams from is to be able. And Jennifer, one of the things I want to, as we cap off this segment, you know, sometimes we're worried about what we can do and how we can put it together and so on. I want to remind people, Connections 50 Plus, we have services to help you. So we're going to take a break. And in the meantime, receive this message from us about our video marketing services.
Welcome to our 5.8G community. Connections 50 Plus has great news for anyone needing to boost a business, promote a project or a cause that's dear to you, but find it challenging to get your promotional video just right.
We know that drill and are fortunate to have a competent and talented support team to ensure that our digital image is always on point.
So, our good news is that we are giving you access to this team with a special package which we call Being Digitally Ready.
In this package, you will receive advice and guidance on positioning and pitching your business to ensure that its best features are impactfully communicated to your audience.
You will get professional videography and a mini photo shoot at a location of your choice.
All done by Zag Creations. Advice on getting the best set designed and script. We also have the option to have professional makeup by Maureen Mitchell,
A wardrobe consultation done by Richard Young
to ensure that you present your best face to the world.
After all this, we will deliver your 2-minute long promotional video ready to be launched on any digital platform in support of your business, project or cause.
Video marketing is vitally needed in today's digital and mobile world, but not everyone offers the complete technical and advisory package.
Everything in our Being Digitally Ready package will come at the unbeatable fixed price of $4,760 TT dollars. If you're interested, please call me, Terry-Ann, at 868-682-9202.
Or Jennifer at 868-685-8834.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Call soon.
And we're back. So listen, I really want our viewers, Facebook, YouTube, Gael, go online and tell us what you think about our new 5.8G Alive program so far. But Jennifer, wait, one other thing. What about our beautiful logo? We didn't talk about our logo.
No. Well, at least you saw it at the beginning, right? It did.
You know, we have to give props to our graphic designer, Jan McKell. And I love the way that she, you know, we talked some shows ago about Connections 50 Plus new logo with the touching hands.
Yeah.
And I love how that's been incorporated. And 5.8G Alive, we are bright, we are shining.
You're shining, yes, yes.
And we are live. So Jen, we've got one more segment. What's that segment?
Yeah, we are talking about community. We are talking about building a tribe, you know, bringing you the audience, bringing our 5.8G cohort along with us, you know, building that tribe. Yeah.
We're about to embark on a whole new journey of self-discovery to ensure that the years ahead are the best years of our lives.
And we are taking you along with us.
We are going to share and experience a new world.
Yeah.
And Jennifer, I think it is so very important. You know, when you were talking about the being in tune in your segment, and we're talking about living a fulfilled life, you brought up the issue of how much negative oriented discussion is going on around the pandemic. How much fear, how much doom and gloom. It's necessary. It is necessary because this is important. But we have to understand that there is balance. And one of the most important factors, and I come back again to what you said, kindness, love, friendship, communications. You see this tribe thing? It is so important to stay in touch with people. it is so important. And we really, Jen and I really decided this segment is one where we are going to be really focusing on helping all of us to be connected, stay connected, build community, even while in our various places, we may be in any stage of lockdown or we may be less able to move around. But we must make an effort to build community.
Karen, it is so nice when you have someone you can chat with, even share, and you said negative, but you still decide, you decide who you want in your tribe. Let me put it that way, you know? And so connect with the people that you know that share the same thing about you, have the same likes. So for instance, you may like to play games. And I know I have a friend, the football, normally when football is going on or cricket, you find at least 4 of them get together all the time to watch. And the house, we're not calling, but the house with the big screen and everything set up.
Yes.
Because of the COVID, is restrict. But guess what? Yeah, each of them watching their own thing at home, but still calling around to find out. The other day I suggested, you know what? Set up a Zoom.
Yes.
So you watch it. So each of you all could argue.
Yes.
And make it alive. Make it alive. And that's what you could do. So things like that. So man, you hear me, right? You can do that. Set up the Zoom and watch your football. Or any sport or anything, actually, whatever you enjoy doing.
Yeah. And again, we talk about the tribe. We have to be isolated. We have to stay at home. We have to avoid crowds. So let's take a lesson from those on the first act, our children. Yeah. Now the second act people, we now go in Zoom for work. But you look at them. They've got their WhatsApp groups. They've got even on their PlayStations and stuff, they're communicating with everyone. They're not losing touch. We need to not be so afraid and just withdraw and be paranoid. There is no need for paranoia. Until you get your vaccine, you can still live. You can still have fun.
And you be cautious. I mean, they tell you, and I must say, I know it may seem that a lot of people from talk not doing it, but I must say there are majority, I would say,
most of us are.
Definitely. And don't ask for the 5.8G group. Yeah, we have to set the example, and we are doing it. We are doing it. We are taking the safety precautions. But there are some of you all out there that may not have that kind of connection with others. And in my coaching environment, I may hear clients say they don't know how to build friendships. And that's why we that's why we have this show. That's why we have that community page that we have started. And we have all the different platforms. So for those who are listening, not on Facebook, but watching YouTube, we have the YouTube you're watching. Those on Gael, you could see it on Gael. If you need it on Gael or YouTube, we could send a link. You could click on your phone.
Yes.
Right, with that link, you see the live. And also, it is so easy to click that link to go on the community page on the website and connect with not just us. You're connecting with the whole community that we are forming there. Yeah.
But Jan, in our last few minutes of our 5.8G Alive with this sunrise, we have a challenge for you. So you have 3 sets of challenges. For every one of our buckets, you have a challenge. And this challenge, we want you to reach out to someone that you have not reached out to for the last year. We want you to pick up the phone, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's Zoom them, whether it's Facebook, but we want you to make sure that you hear them. You hear them. Don't send a text. Don't send an email. But reach out to someone that you've not reached out to for a long while and just say hi. Start that love Jennifer was talking about.
Yeah, and start the conversation on a positive, right? Please don't say hi. How you making out in this COVID time? No. Hi. How are you doing? I haven't heard your voice for a long while. I'm looking forward to chat with you. Let's see how we could connect again, the things we can do.
Yeah, ask them, do you still have that mango tree? Are your mangoes bearing? You know, what do you remember about the last time that you went? Did you when last you make some bread? When last you made that? There are so many things that we did with people.
Don't start the conversation with
our lives. Go back to the time before COVID and talk about what is.
Yeah. And it's from the time you pick up the phone, say the conversation is not going to start with COVID.
Exactly. And it's not a COVID conversation.
Yeah. You know?
Unless the person by chance had COVID. But then you are supportive.
You share the love, Tarian. You share the love,
yes.
But not with the negative. You share the love, but of course you wish them well. And if you could share how you can support them, you could support them, even with a call, even with sending through something, ways you could support them and not go down, the negative.
Don't go oh boy, don't go down that road.
And refer to so many others who had the same thing,
Definitely. So Jennifer, it's time to wind up. I am excited. I hope that everyone has had a fantastic time on our 5.8G Alive as we have.
We did, and looking forward, don't forget, this entire week is a week of activities. You can't say you're bored. We have you busy.
So we will see you on our group chat. We will see you during the week on Facebook and YouTube, engaging and communicating. And we will be on to our second part of our 2 segments next Wednesday.
Great. And just 1 second, Tarian. On Sunday, today's Wednesday, but Sunday's Mother's Day.
Yes.
And I want to wish all the mothers happy Mother's Day, of course, from CONEC-TIONS 50+.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, and to you too. Right, so enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
+50 Tribe and follow us from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this CONEC-TIONS 50+ 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye for now.